Hey, this is Ed here from Detected, and I've got the Nocta AccuPoint with me today. This is Nocta's newest pinpointer, and it's got a few really interesting features that I'm going to dive into right now. So the first thing you'll probably notice is that AccuPoint has its own screen, which is really cool. I was initially quite skeptical about having a screen on a pinpointer, but when you've got one button to do all the functions, you don't have to remember them all because it's really easy to see what's happening on the screen. Now, when you turn it on, you'll notice it turns on super fast, which is really important when you are detecting. You just want it to turn on fast. You don't have to hold it and wait a few seconds. If you just press it once again really quick, that actually retunes. If you look at that little icon there, it just flashes for a second. So if your pinpoint is going off on the ground, like the actual dirt itself, like here, you press it, and now it's silent. So it just kind of recalibrates to the soil or whatever's in the soil. It also has this little tip protector, which is awesome because pinpointers generally tend to wear out on the tip because that's where they get most of the abuse. It comes with a spare one as well, and you can get them aftermarket too. As you can see, there's a really bright pair of LEDs in there. I've just got the torch turned on at the moment. That's super useful, especially when you forget your head torch, which I am known for doing. Now, when we open it up, there's this little thing here, and that's actually to funnel the sound from that little speaker inside to the outside of the detector. It does seem to help because this is probably the loudest pinpointer I've ever used, and I'll get to that in a minute. But you'll also see there's a USB-C on the inside. That's really nice. It's good to see that update because everything's going to USB-C these days, and it's a really durable, great USB connection. In terms of actually using this pinpointer, it is super reactive, so you're not going to miss targets. And what I mean by that is you can wave the pinpointer past a coin or your target really quickly, and it's still going to pick it up very, very quickly. It's still going to pick it up even if you're moving really, really quickly. Now, going into the menu, all you have to do is hold this button until that bar fills up to the very end. And then you can go between the menu items by just pressing the button. So we've only got one button, which on a lot of pinpointers can be confusing trying to program it with one button, but since we've got the screen, it's really easy. Our first menu icon is the sensitivity. If you want to enter it into any of those icons, you just hold down the button and it will enter into them. Next one, we've got audio vibration or audio and vibration. So you can see both are on now. I press it again. Now it's just vibration. Now it's just audio, and now it's both. If we wait a few seconds, it'll go back to the main menu and we'll be able to go to the next menu icon, which is the discrimination one. So this is really cool. Currently I've got it set up so it's ignoring iron. So we've got a bit of steel here, totally ignores it. But what you can do is you just have it on one tone and it'll just detect steel and non-steel targets and sound the same. Or if we go to two tone, which is this one here, steel will actually make a different sound, which is really interesting. You'll be able to tell if there's steel in the hole because often when you're digging a target, there's going to be more than one target in the hole. Some of those are going to be steel and you can avoid wasting time digging them up. So our next menu icon is the Bluetooth. So you can actually pair your Bluetooth headphones from your Legend or any other Nocta detectors. And then we've also got frequency shift, which is our fifth menu item. Frequency shift allows you to change the frequency of this pinpointer so that it's not interfering with your main metal detector or your main metal detector is not interfering with it. It's not very common that you'll need that, but it's there just in case. Then we have our torch. So you can see there's really bright flashlight on there. It uses two bright LEDs, which I love. We've got our volume, so you can change the volume on this pinpointer. As I mentioned earlier, it's probably the loudest pinpointer I've ever used, but you can turn it down if that's too loud and intrusive for any reason. So you can have it on volume 2 or volume 1. And then you can also have it on just vibration on the other menu. Next, we have our screen brightness. I just leave it at maximum brightness, and then you can do a total reset, which is our last icon. Hold that button, it'll totally reset the pinpointer back to the default settings. Now, the AccuPoint is waterproof to 3 meters, so you can totally submerge this and wash it off, which they do tend to get dirty, your pinpointers. It does have this cool measuring stick on the back, so when you do want to brag about how deep your detector is going, you will have something to measure the depth of your holes. That's pretty cool too. Now, I've been using my personal AccuPoint for a couple of months now, and overall, I find it super intuitive. That's how I describe it. It's very sensitive to tiny targets. It's super intuitive to understand and be able to visualize where that coin or target is in the dirt or sand quickly. And it just works, honestly. So pinpointers should be simple, and this really is. You can just turn it on and just go. You can go into those menus and change a few things to your liking as well. And I really love the tip cover as well, because like I said, a lot of pinpointers, that is where pinpointers will wear out first. So it's really good to have that. Just get some longevity out of your tools. Really impressed. Cool. Now, the last thing I want to mention about the AccuPoint is actually the battery life. So we have a few customers out there using these now, and from all reports, they last for weeks of use because these things give you about 25 hours of actual battery times or usage. And the fact is you only use these for a few seconds at a time normally per hole. So that's going to give you weeks or months of usage before you're going to need a recharge, depending on how much detecting you're doing. So that's really awesome. Thank you so much for watching. It's been great to do a review on these. They've been so popular in our store. If you do need any detecting gear or any advice, feel free to email us or give us a call. We're at detected.com, and please like and subscribe this video.